Today we are celebrating the life of a great soul. And on behalf of the Lakewood City Council and its mayor, we are pleased to present this proclamation this month.
Whereas Dan Figuracion was born on February 5th, 1920 in the Philippines, his cherished birthplace, and the United States, his adopted home, and
whereas Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion served in the U.S. Army Philippine Scouts and served in World War II as a member of the F Troop Company 26th Cavalry Regiment. And whereas Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion was a decorated World War II veteran, a Bataan Death March survivor, prisoner of war, and Vietnam veteran, and
whereas in early 1942, Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion served in the last United States Army horse-mounted cavalry charge against a Japanese infantry unit and pushed them back, and after months of fierce fighting on Bataan, American and Philippine troops were forced to surrender to the Japanese on April 9, 1942, where Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion, together with more than 60,000 exhausted and weary soldiers, were taken as prisoners. And whereas after capture, the prisoners were forced to march to POW camps in what became known as the Bataan Death March. And by the end of 1942, nearly half of the POWs died from exhaustion and starvation. And
whereas in 1943, Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion escaped from the Japanese and joined a local guerrilla unit that attacked Japanese road and railroad supplies and convoys.
And whereas Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion, who passed away on April 3rd, 2017, was dedicated to his mother country's a loving husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, and will be remembered for his legacy that includes strength of loyalty that continues through his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
And on behalf of all of us, now therefore be resolved by the Lakewood City Council and on behalf of the citizens of Lakewood, tribute is hereby paid to the legacy of Sergeant First Class Dan Figuracion in recognition of the valor and the sacrifice of his service to our country, and we urge all citizens to join us in expressing our eternal gratitude for the contributions of Dan Figuracion. Proclaimed this first day of May 2017, Don Anderson, Mayor. Thank you very much for your service.
I'm honored to be a part of this. I'm a cavalry soldier myself after many years of service and served most of my career in the cavalry, so I'm honored to be a part of it. And to live through what this man lived through for most of his life is just tremendously honorable to think about, to be 97 years old and live through 3 major conflicts and all the years of dedication to the service that he provided. The Bataan Death March, 50% of the people died during the Bataan Death March as it went through. A year in captivity with the Japanese, and then escaped, embedded himself with the Philippine guerrilla warfare guys and fought until he was able to be rescued from that and be a part of the society today, and then make his way back to the United States and be indoctrinated as a citizen of this great nation is outstanding, and what his achievements were and what he did. So I'll end with a quote that, for those of you who might not know, it's a Douglas MacArthur quote, of which Sergeant First Class Figuracion served under General MacArthur, who said, "Heroes never die, they just fade away." So Sergeant First Class Figuracion at 97 years old, he didn't die, he just faded away. He's still right here in our hearts. So his legacy lives on in the cavalry troopers today that we have here at TBLM and across the world, on the whole globe, because he fought in the Philippines. It's an honor to be a part of this legacy. And I thank you very much to your family, Ms. Figuracion, for the sacrifices it's made through all the years of service. Thank you very much.